Right, picture this. It's 1985. You just come off your biggest tour, you've had your biggest album, everything's a hit, you're at the top of your game, and you've just lost your lead singer. David Lee Roth was the lead singer of Van Halen. He was probably more than that. He's a front man. He's a dancer. He's wild. He's the one that people write headlines about. You know, the band was called Van Halen after the brothers, but a lot of people outside of those musically interested in Van Halen, they knew David Lee Roth as the front guy. He was Van Halen for them.
How are they going to sum up Van Halen?
I think they're going to sum up Van Halen by the way I'm going to put my gravestone up, and it's going to say, "Here, folks, have one on me. I told you I didn't feel well."
Right, not to get into the grit of why Van Halen split, Van Halen versus Roth, or taking sides, or anything like that, but it was not a sudden split. Since 1984, the brothers and David wanted to go in separate directions. David wanted to be more of a showy band. He wanted to make a movie. It's one of the things he attempted to do after Van Halen. David pushed for theatrics. Eddie and Alex wanted to pursue their technicality and write impressive, well-selling and well-received albums. David Lee Roth was more like, he had a very I don't care attitude about things, and this led to a split.
I don't talk about Van Halen, not once, on my stage during my show, and I haven't on this tour. I think we're on our 50th gig. I only started talking about Van Halen in the last several months after 6-7 months of silence, and they have taken it upon themselves to attack me every single opportunity they have. I don't know if they played here yet. They played here? Then I'll bet you $5 they made a big production of cheap, low shots. Make a scapegoat. That's German mentality.
When the split happened, Van Halen were at a sort of tough point in their life. They'd had the biggest album yet, the most successful. It was number 2. Thriller beat it, but Eddie was also on that as well, so they were a massive peak of their career. So how do you follow that up? Well, in 1986, Eddie's Lamborghini was in the shop. A guy called Sammy Hagar, his Ferrari was in the same shop. Long story short, they met through the mechanic. He introduced them to, and they hit it off. They did a show together, a Farm Aid show, played some Zeppelin tunes. And they started working on an album in Eddie's new studio, 5150 Studio. Whole band found Sammy nice. He was different to how David was. There's a quote from Alex that says it's the happiest he's ever seen Eddie when Sammy joined the band. The other thing to remember though is I'm not here to shit on David's era. What I think about his era and how he's definitely much more of a showman. Van Halen is moving out of the 70s and we're getting to mid-80s territory now, where they wanted to go for more of a sort of like commercial route. I mean, the solos and the technicality was still there, but the band was definitely becoming more polished.
It is now officially 5150 time!
On the 24th of March 1986, 5150 was released. I believe this is one of Van Halen's best albums, especially of the Sammy era. This is probably one of the better 80s albums out there. It really encapsulates the feeling of the 80s with the synth tracks and the songs about summer nights and your radio. Anyway, the main reason I wanted to talk about this era of Van Halen, the post-Roth, fresh Sammy, is because my discovery of Van Halen was very much from this era. I didn't even realize it when I first sat down as a young guitarist and I saw the video of Eddie playing his solo. I didn't even realize it's from one of the most legendary live performances. So in August of 1986, Van Halen would perform in New Haven, which for this show they dubbed New Halen. They recorded a live version of their album with video to sort of prove themselves that this new lineup have got it, and they did. It's one of the most perfect concerts ever. Every song hits, every member of the band is exceptional. You know, it's interesting. They open with a Hagar tune. Actually, they decided to open with one of Hagar's tunes. But I don't know why you'd want to listen to the original, because Eddie and Alex and Michael Anthony are on this, and they make the song so much better. You know, and every single song that is performed live during this concert is somehow even better than the ones on the record. I mean, my favorite version of 5150, the song 5150, from the album 5150, is this live version. The solo is different. It all goes sort of like half time, the lights go dim, and then everything builds back up. And Van Halen were able to prove themselves once again to the world that a different singer doesn't mean a different band. It means you still get the same quality, even better in the production levels, but you get the same quality band, you get the same raw live performance that everyone loves, and Van Halen cemented themselves that they can keep going. And I mean, the guitar that Eddie used is synonymous with him. Although it's not his Frankenstrat, it's his 5150 Kramer, which arguably he played more throughout this iconic era. Anyway, that's about the whole story of Van Halen recovering from losing their lead singer and proving themselves with a new lead singer. If you want to see more, subscribe and like and share and all that good stuff. Thank you for watching.